them are more than pals.
Our show can be a little gay,
But if you're not,
that's okay.
you can listen and have fun either way. Xena, Star Wars, Doctor Who, guests and music and reviews. Game of Thrones, Winona too. We promise there's something for you. She nerds out. We're girls that like dirty things. Dirty things.
Hello and welcome to the She Nerds Out podcast. I'm Kat.
I'm Wendy.
And this is Tara.
On today's episode, we have a mail sack, and we're going to talk about Skeleton Crew and some other stuff too. But first,
Yeah.
hey Wendy.
What national day is it? Okay, I'm going to jump over. I'm going to do a couple quick ones. On January 22nd, it's Weedless Wednesday. So if you do weed, maybe don't do it that day. Give yourself a break from the weed.
Huh.
It's also National Answer Your Cat's Questions Day. So if they have a question about weed, you can answer
About
it.
weed? Okay.
Well, if your cat wants to know. I mean, or catnip. That's kind of their weed.
Oh, yeah.
So if they have questions on the 22nd, answer their questions, okay?
I think their question would be like, why don't you give me some catnip?
Right.
Yeah,
Where's
probably.
my
Yeah.
food?
And then I'll jump ahead to Friday, January 24th, because that is, Tara, something I know you have an appreciation of. National Beer Can Appreciation Day.
Oh, beer cans
You are
specifically.
a connoisseur of beer cans.
I am a connoisseur of beer cans. In my pod pub, I have many a beer can on display. I like to collect them from various spots, especially interesting or artistic looking, or just aesthetically pleasing to my eye. Beer
Sure.
cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of beer cans. I have like emptied beer cans and flown back with them many a time in my suitcase.
Nice.
And it's become, kind of a fun gift that people send me when they see cool beer cans. Send them my
That's
way.
awesome. Very cool.
Nice.
What's your favorite beer can, Tara?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. God, I don't know. There's some cool ones of like Star Wars or kind of like not really Star Wars, but they're kind of just like hand drawn. There's some fun cat ones. Cat ones are always fun.
Nice.
Or I just like a good, like there's some Norse ones that I had, just some like really cool designs. I really like,
Nice.
that kind of aesthetic.
All right.
So,
Cool.
you see anything you think I might like? But we can't mail it. You can't mail beer, apparently. That's
Well,
the
what
thing
if
that
it's
sucks.
empty though?
If it's empty, you can't. That's a good point. If it is empty, you'll just have to enjoy it for
Pack
me.
it nice. Yeah.
And describe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, today is National Cheesy Socks Day, which
Okay,
I love
that-
a good, like goofy
Oh,
socks.
like
silly.
goofy.
Like
not-
funny socks, not cheese.
Not socks full
Like
of
fun
cheese,
socks.
or
Like
socks made of cheese.
no.
Jeez.
Like right now I'm wearing Stormtrooper socks.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Are y'all wearing anything fun?
No. They're just
Oh.
blue.
Right now I've got
Come
my
on,
workout
sorry.
socks on, but earlier I had Star Wars socks with AT-ATs walking around.
Oh,
them.
That's
They're
cool.
cute.
okay. All right.
That's cool. If I had known,
I
I would
also
have wore
have
some fun
I didn't
socks.
know.
I also have a pair of socks that Rachel gave me with Charlie's face on it, along with some rainbows, and they are super cute.
Charlie.
I
And
love
it's like
that.
her like smile face, like big face, just rainbows. They're comfy
Well,
too.
That's cute.
Mhm.
I love that.
Crazy socks are fun. I feel bad for my plain socks sometimes because they don't get worn.
They're so boring.
I know, but I still love them.
Socks.
Is that it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got a lot to talk about.
You leaned back to take a drink of your beverage,
Water.
so I thought I was like, or
No,
just
that's
a
it.
dramatic pause, or okay.
No, we're good. We can move on to the sad news.
This week in snobbing.
Weekend snopping.
This week in Americaning.
Well, yesterday, an event took place.
Let's talk about the big Cheeto in the room.
Yeah. The
I like
presidential
Cheetos. Don't call them
inauguration.
Cheetos. I love a good Cheeto.
I
Yeah,
take it
Cheetos
back.
are awesome.
Tainted. Cheetos are.
I take it back.
I don't know what else you'd say though.
Donald Trump is now officially our president.
Again.
It hurts.
Again.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts more this time because you really know. You get the full, your relived experiences.
Yeah, and
Last
he's
time?
learned, and he has learned from last time, so I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
he knows how to work the system even more destructively.
And now he doesn't have to worry about either like reelection. He doesn't have to worry about getting elected again because number one is he's been 2 terms. Number two, he might just throw it all out and just decide he's going to stay in office. So
Yep.
one way or the other, he probably doesn't have to care what about if disappointing his supporters.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. His base doesn't matter anymore.
No,
It
and
doesn't.
I don't think they care anyway. He could do anything; they won't care. They morality, ethics, it's all over.
And he got
That's
down to business really quickly. He addressed a really important issue, which was renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. 'Cause that's been a problem for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of Americans were concerned about that.
Nobody gives a shit.
I was, for one, very personally offended by that for many years.
It's like, I mean, it's the Gulf of Mexico because it's a gulf in Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How
What?
can he
Right.
just decide to change it? Did we name it?
I don't know, but I heard a podcast talk about this today that he can say it's named that, but the rest of the world does not have to recognize that.
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything.
That's true. Who's the map authority?
disaster.
Who gets to name
I don't know. It's a
these
great
things?
question. I don't know. Maybe someone can email us and tell us if they know.
When are we going to know if we get Canada or Greenland? Is that still on the table? Are we going to be?
I don't think the Canada
Taking
thing's
those
going to
over?
work out. I mean, I would be okay if Canada join, if they let California join
Yeah. that'd be
Canada,
Awesome.
but I don't think,
I'll take it. I would take it.
believe it or not, Canada does have a military. And I feel like they would fight before being annexed by the United States.
Politely. Yeah. They'd fight.
Very
Yeah.
politely.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Canada and America going? Only
God.
this piece of crap could make that happen, possibly.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And I would root for Canada.
Absolute same. I might just take off and live up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we're going through.
Sorry, world. We tried.
Yeah, we
really
did.
tried.
We did.
Our
but it
country
didn't-
was just too ignorant
didn't work.
and didn't care about anything good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
So there you go.
So sorry, we're sad. But
Don't know how else to be. Right.
I 4 years is gonna just fly by.
my oh God. The last 2 days, the last day has dragged. My favorite part, I was telling Tara, is George Bush and his 5-year-old at a church musical, just being goofy and just saying how no matter what you thought of Bush, my gosh, compared to what we
Agreed.
have now, he's a beautiful man. It's the one
He-
president I've met in my lifetime.
Oh, I didn't know you met George
He
W.
came to our he wasn't president yet. He came to our station back
the
in,
governor?
in Bryan, Texas when he was, I don't even think he was governor yet. I think he was
Oh,
running
cool.
for governor. But
Really?
you knew him
Wow.
because of his dad. It was in early
Sure.
90s. I forgot when he became governor. It was early 90s.
Okay.
Probably like 92, 93 maybe. And my friend Tracy had a show. We did she did like a little fun bits for the news, and she was asking a lot of staff members like, "Oh, what was your favorite Halloween costume?" And George was there for an interview because I think he was running for governor. I'm like, you should ask him what his costume was. And I was kidding. She's like, okay. So she ran. She's like, got him and asked him what his favorite Halloween costume was. And he said Casper the Ghost. And I was like trying to stand against the wall, not be in the shot, only to find out I was. And I was so mad that I got in the shot. But then I was like, okay, well, now I have a picture of myself with a president. So,
Hey, that's pretty good.
I mean, like him or not, as a president. I used to would say that, like, whatever you think about it, it's the office and respect the office. And they all probably are fairly decent men who just want different things. But now it's like, screw that. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Well, he's a joke. Trump's a
The
joke.
guy in the office. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's turned it into a joke. But anyway, but
but no,
his facial expressions were funny.
Yeah.
Well, even last time, the first time that Trump was in, a very, very famous quote that George W. Bush said. So after Trump has his inauguration speech and he's like going off about how horrible the country is, Speech is over, and multiple witnesses say George W. Bush leaned over to Hillary Clinton and said, well, that was some weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love how all
None
the
of them
past
like him.
presidents are like
Oh.
buddies.
It's like a club. I know his dad and Clinton were buddies.
Very close.
He's like chumming it up with the Obama, you know, and they're in this club. Everybody but the new guy. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
he's in the club.
all want him out. None of
Yeah.
them like, and they've all. I wish I know his family members. By the way, apparently his daughter Jenna, who was on the like Hoda Jenna show, that's not going to
Jenna
be
Bush.
the Jenna whatever. According to a woman I work with that worked on the Today Show, she's like, she's great, fun to drink with, fun gal. Yeah. So
Okay.
apparently she's a really cool, nice, fun person, his daughter. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's like their little club of like, at least there's respect within that club, even if they
'Cause
had
it's a
differing
hard
opinions.
job, you
It's
know?
a very hard job, but
a hard
none
job.
of them, I think. And I think they've probably tried just out of professional courtesy, at least at first. Now they're like, screw him, we can't deal with this guy.
Yeah, they're not hiding there.
I think they
No.
just shouldn't have even shown up. That would have made a statement.
I would have
Sure.
loved that. Michelle
Yeah.
Obama did, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, wow!" It's like, shut up. None of them want to be there. I promise you.
No.
They probably did to support Biden and Kamala. Honestly, that's
Yeah,
probably why.
That's true.
Yeah, not for the other guy. He who shall not be named.
Yeah. He'll just be Voldemort for the next 4 years.
Yeah. So,
So,
good luck,
really have to-
everybody.
Wean myself off social media because I just
Yeah.
can't. look
I
at
deleted
that every day.
TikTok. I was wasting too much time on TikTok anyway.
let's not even
and when
talk
they had
about TikTok.
The,
Oh
when
my
they had
God.
the, we've been shut down. And it would have been fine if it was just like, okay, we're back. But it was like, thank you to President Trump for making this. I was like, you are such a
wow.
political piece of crap tool. Delete.
He's the
I'm done
one
with
that
you.
initiated
Just-
their ban
Exactly.
to begin
It's such a
with.
joke.
People are so
He's-
stupid. So,
Yeah.
People
So-
are stupid. They just don't pay attention. And
No.
they don't care.
And
They just
yeah,
don't
so
care.
TikTok's gone. That was this whole 4 years is going to be that kind of crap. So,
Yep.
oh, didn't they just pledge 500 billion to some AI project, as opposed to like any of the other good things that they could do with 500 billion that they're saying these old people are stealing with the Social Security and all the other programs they just can't afford. But here's 500 billion for AI. God bless it, the machine, POI. I love the idea of AI, but no, shut up, stop it. The people that are in charge of it are the bad people.
They are. It's the evil. It's like a bunch of Bond villains standing up there behind Trump, including his wife. Look like a really cool Bond villain.
Well, did you see the meme of him trying to kiss her and then the hat blocks him and someone paired it with the
air kiss.
where the alien is trying to get Sigourney Weaver and she's all up against the wall.
I'm sure they have an agreement. Like, you just don't touch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he
Just don't
tried
touch
and
me.
she was like, "No, here, I'll send that to y'all right now because it's actually pretty funny."
But it's speaking of the money that is being thrown at projects that really don't help people. Listen, we're going to Mars, and Musk is going to get a huge government contract.
Yes.
Coincidentally, it's we use Musk's SpaceX for all space transport. So,
I mean, I like space,
Conflict of
but
interest, but
oh, what's that, Tara? I don't know what that
That's
is.
gone. That doesn't exist anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing has made me a sad sack, which rhymes with mail sack. Let's go to the mail sack.
Nice,
Is that smooth?
professional.
Smooth. This is a smooth sack
Smooth. It's
transition.
Oh, gross. I'm gonna start with Jennifer, whose subject is appropriate. It's sweet holy hell. Feels like a good description of like a good reaction to the times. Dear Harry Potter and the lesbian podcasters, I hope you three are faring well in the LA fires. Last week, my husband was in LA for a court case that he was an expert witness in. And because of the fires, the smoke, and the no electricity, he had to move hotels that Tuesday.
Oh.
Go to another hotel 45 minutes away. He was supposed to testify on Wednesday, but there was so much smoke in the courthouse, they had to reschedule another day at another courthouse. He was supposed to be home on Thursday, but didn't get home until Friday. At least he got to skip the whole blizzard we had here. Dang, sorry about that.
That's crazy.
I think, was that downtown or I'm trying to think where
Must
they would
not
have
have
that much
been.
smoke.
Well, your husband and I, Jennifer, would have so much in common because I'm also a legal expert. So
That's true. Court experience.
I'd love to
Foreman.
talk to him sometime.
My husband. Oh, he was a witness. That's an expert
I
witness.
love it. Expert
That's-
witness. I
yeah.
love an expert witness.
Sustain.
Overruled.
Wow,
That's all I
that's
got.
a good one. I remember.
There,
Yeah.
there were some
Sounds right.
overrulings. Yeah, there were some overrulings.
My husband has a side business he owns that deals with accessibility with websites and the relative ease of navigating it if you have a disability. He's pretty well known in his field and gets called to be a witness every once in a while. He's even worked with Wendy's when they got sued for not having a site that was accessible for blind people. Oftentimes, he testifies against major universities that won't help their disabled students that just want to navigate their campus better, like having braille books or other accommodations. I mean, how hard is it to have a ramp alongside a set of stairs? They deserve to be sued up their ass. His words, not mine. He also has a full-time job as an accessibility manager at a major company. Yeah, I thought that was required to have a ramp.
Very important.
Yeah. Anyway, enough gushing about that silly man. How are you guys? I think you should form a vigilante group and track down the creeps that are setting the fires purposely. You three can spout celebrity birthdays, nerd news, while kicking the creeps in the mail sack and finish them off with, "This is Tara."
Oh, I like that.
Wait, how would you deliver it, Tara?
And Kat would say something like, "You've been served."
That's
I want to hear your "This is Tara," like menacingly.
Oh God. I don't know. I feel like it just sound like Batman.
okay.
I can't.
Do it.
I'm talking
Do
about-
it.
Oh
to do it.
God. This is Tara. I don't know. That's all
It
I
is
got.
Batman.
That was great.
Yeah.
They will grovel at your feet, and the cops will look at you in wonder, and the masses will applaud. I hope. Anyway, my husband is currently in Minnesota at one of his work headquarters where he'll be until Friday. He primarily works from home, but like twice a year, they want to see him in person. He was home for the weekend before he left on Monday. I don't know how single parents do it. I love Daniel, but he can be a lot. He's been wanting to play, and I'm not playing the way he wants me to play. I'm not his daddy. He'll get frustrated while I'm playing with him because it's different than the way his dad does. He'll sigh and say, "Can you sit on the couch and watch me play?" We'll be playing in the snow outside, and a plane will pass by in the sky, and he'll excitedly ask, "Is that Daddy?" I'm running out of ideas on how to entertain him. Rude. I need to tell you how ridiculous my child is. We'll be playing in this outside in the snow for almost 2 hours. He'll complain about being cold and demands to go inside. Once we go inside, I've been wanting to go inside 1 hour and 59 minutes ago. He takes off all his layers, and the little diva will look me in the eye and say, "Can I have ice cream? I need to cool down." Send help, Jennifer. Oh, kids are fun. Look at him in
Aren't
his
they
little winter wear.
So cute.
Paw
and fun.
Pictures. Okay,
What
I
a
know what I
fun
do
age.
now as I'm fighting the vigilantes.
great.
I've thought about it for a
Perfect.
second now. I
Excellent.
would say this is Tara, but I would say it. I'd hold up my fist like this.
Wait, I gotta see this. Uh-huh.
I'd be like, "This is Tara." Pop, and I pop him in the face with it.
That's awesome.
I like
That's
that.
great.
Yeah,
The face
how that
pop.
would go. Yeah,
Nice.
knock him right out.
You could say, "This is Tara, and you're gonna spend time in the hospital."
Say hello to my little friend. Yeah, you're going.
This is Tara, and this is Tara's fist. And I work at a hospital. And that's where you're going.
Which is where you're going. This is great. It's gonna be
Not
awesome.
We can be
one I work at.
superheroes.
That's a conflict of interest.
But I'll make sure they treat you right.
Yeah,
That's
but everyone deserves good patient experience.
And on the way out, if you'd fill out this survey, we'd really appreciate it.
There's a show there.
HR Batman.
Okay, is it my turn?
It
Yes,
is.
please, Batman.
Lucky, lucky
All right.
you.
I've got one from Mish. Good to hear
Mish.
from you, Mish.
Right.
Subject: errata as requested. Okay.
Okay.
Glad to hear you're not on fire. Hopefully
Thanks.
that remains true and shall continue to be so, at least until you read this email. Otherwise, the inanity of it will be super awkward. Yeah. I finally saw Wicked yesterday. I've never had the opportunity to see the stage musical, which, let me tell you, led to a thankfully solitary moment of what the fuck is happening when I watched Wicked. Okay, let me continue this. I did not Okay, when I watched Wicked, a Xena musical a while back. Now that makes sense.
Well, yeah, how would
So
you
what the
understand
fuck
it?
is happening when I watch Xena? Yes, I could understand watching that with having no concept of
I
Wicked. Would be
ask that
very
myself
confusing.
sometimes about Xena Wicked musical.
I had failed to connect the
Good.
dots, but I got there eventually. Wicked the movie was as good as promised. I'm not a crier, but the dancing scene almost got me. I knew the general story beats of the first act and the music from gay culture absorption,
Sure.
but I had no idea what happens in the second act apart from the obvious. I am therefore fully prepared and eager to be emotionally devastated for good this fall.
Hmm.
Speaking of falling, we got 9 inches of snow plus a bunch of ice 10 days ago, and it's
Ooh.
still hanging around. A lot of places never plowed or have been salted, so it's well below freezing ever since the snowstorm rolled through. Hence why I slipped on some black ice the other day
Oh,
and fell hard directly onto one of my knees.
fuck.
I'm fine other than my pride. I live in Kentucky, mind you. We're not built for this bullshit. I mean, I'd certainly rather have this than your fires, but can we please do a weather exchange? I'll gladly give you the snow in exchange for, say, 20 degrees. Yeah, take 20 of our degrees, please.
That'd be
Yeah, we'll
great.
trade. I'll take that trade right now. I'll
Throw
give
in
it
an
some snow.
extra 10 degrees and I'll even take the winds.
By the way, as of this recording, there is massive snow in Florida, New Orleans, Houston, Galveston, places that do not get snow.
Insane.
And the whole like southeast is getting a ton of snow, and it's crazy.
I'm
So,
very jealous.
But listen,
insanely
Even more now
jealous.
because
climate change isn't real. Just ask the president.
Well, call me when they get snow in LA. I'm ready.
it happened once since
I
I've
know,
lived
I
here.
was out of
One
town.
time. Yeah.
It's happened, yeah. It
Well,
can
then
happen.
twice because it happened once.
I think it
Like a
happened
year
while
or
I
two
was living
after-
here.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, and I was not here.
Although there was one plus side to the weather, I've been nursing a mild deadlift-induced butt injury since December. So instead of going to the gym, I've been doing single leg stability exercises at home, which meant that when the snow came down, I had a handy excuse not to do those either. And instead of getting my workout in the form of spending hours outside, getting ice off people's cars and shoveling snow and scraping ice out of the parking lot. Oddly satisfying work, even though the handle on the shovel I had to use only goes up to my waist. That's
Oh,
not good.
that doesn't
My
sound
collapsible shovel broke upon first impact with the ice, of course. Fortunately, a neighbor in my building found a metal shovel in her storage closet. Short but handy, like me.
good. Oh,
But now the real reason I'm sending this email to share with you the Xena Season 6 spaghetti order. I recently came across this old post on Tumblr purporting to be a much better way to watch the final season of Xena so it doesn't end on such a bummer. Beyond just moving when fates collide to the final spot, it's okay. Beyond just moving when fates collide to the final spot, I mean, essentially, that is an episode that most people, I think, would concur on that.
yeah. It's a happy ending.
It's been too long since I rewatched
No.
the show. For
Not
my
me.
No, you won't. You like?
Continue.
Okay.
No, but I like, what's the one where they fly off with the helmet?
Oh,
With
Sappho.
Sappho. No,
No.
it was
No,
close to the
it's,
end with the Sappho, and she reads the poem, and they go flying off.
They
into
have the helmet and they fly
yes,
away.
that's the one I would end on.
Oh.
What is that called? That's
I don't know, but I love that
I
episode.
rewatched the show from my memory to be a good judge of how effective this is, but there's a long description of the decision-making process behind it that makes sense to me. I love to hear your Xena expert thoughts on it. Could be a nice, long, juicy segment. Hopefully one of you haven't already done it and I'm just forgetting about it. That's all for now. Stay safe, Mish. P.S. Cat pictures are attached for your enjoyment / stress relief. The lighter brown one is Billy Lurk. The one with the white belly and stockings is Pumpkin.
oh, pumpkin.
There's also an example of how the ice behaved after I dug the snow out from under a car because it amuses me. I don't know, what is this spaghetti thing?
I don't
It's just
either.
changing. I don't know if I've heard of it, but it's like basically changing the order so it doesn't end with the friend
Spaghetti
in
order.
need.
Okay, here's what I had going
Many
through
Happy
my mind
Returns
when I
is
read
the-
that.
Yeah.
I thought there was some kind of Italian food you're supposed to order.
Oh, that sounds good
Sort of
too.
Special spaghetti in a game, like a spaghetti eating game or something. That's what I was thinking.
Ah,
Not that. Okay.
no, I don't think that's
We have pictures, cat pictures. Oh,
And yeah, let me look into
so
the spaghetti
cute.
thing. Maybe this would be a segment.
Looks like it's just moving when fates collide after girlfriend in need. Because I think that When Fates Collide was not a modern thing, right? It was sort of like an alternate. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah, but it's because the fates
That's
are
true.
messing with the timeline. Oh, it's
Oh,
because
yeah.
Caesar
I'd be
somehow,
down with that. Yeah.
and so like all the timelines get fucked up.
Yeah, the fates could have just like erased Xena's death.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be fine.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that would be. I need to rewatch that one.
Oh, no. That's interesting. Okay. So like if you click down to this link, if you expand
Yeah, there's
it,
a link. Yeah.
there's a whole list, the new order. So it's Soul Possession would be episode 1, which is in real life 620. Coming Home and Haunting of Miss Amphipolis. Yeah, this definitely moves some stuff around.
Oh, I didn't hit the keep reading.
Yeah, let's
okay.
let's put a pin in this. This could be
Okay.
many happy returns. That's that. the
Oh,
one
I
they
do
fly
love
off.
that one.
Yeah.
Where
Okay,
Michael
let's-
Hurst is
Oh,
like
wait.
a reporter or something.
No. Many
yes.
Happy. Wait. Oh,
Isn't it? Oh no.
no.
Oh,
Many
Odin's-
Happy Returns is the one where they save the young girl from being sacrificed, and they have the
right.
helmet, and she reads her the Sappho poem.
Right.
What's the one where
You are there.
you are there?
You're there, yeah.
And Odin
That's
is like,
Damn it.
that's one of my
Damn
favorite.
Damn it. So good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pin
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
We'll do this
Yeah, they've switched it around
We'll do
quite a bit.
this.
I did not see this part. Yeah.
intriguing. These are some cute cats, Mish.
There's no such thing as not cute cats. Cat.
These are extremely cute cats.
Look at the babies on their blankie and meowing. Their little paws.
One is in an
Who would end it?
entertainment center. Like that.
Oh, such pretty cats. A little tabby. A little
at
tabby with white. That's like Gidget, but with short hair and not obese. Different face. With the white belly and some white paws.
That's
well, not
Pumpkin.
really, actually. It doesn't look like Gidget.
Oh,
Cute babies.
they're very cute.
And they're
Thank you for
friends. Look,
sending
they're
those,
grooming.
Mish.
They're grooming.
It's the best. They are
And then we're
grooming.
just followed by 5 minutes of silence while we all
Tongue action there.
look at the
Thank you for sending these, Mish.
Babies.
I have an email as well. It's from Heather. And here it comes.
Okay. As you look for it.
The subject the subject is unintentional omissions. Hi nerds. Yes, Wendy, in my previous email I failed to mention that Emilia Pérez was a musical and Zoe Saldana played the frumpy lawyer. We'll be talking about this movie later. The film was also directed by a French director, Jacques Adoin, which is probably why some of it went right over my head. Regarding the French, I have taken my cue from Sister Michael of Dairy Girls fame. She said it best when the school trip to Paris was announced. Sadly, I am unable to come on this one as I despise the French. Only kidding to any listeners from France or of French descent. It was just such a fun line on the show.
Do y'all remember that? The Miss USA? France!
Oh, yes.
They
What
all
is
come
that?
out and announce their countries like,
SNL.
you know,
Uh-oh.
like Switzerland. No, but she did it in real life. She was like, Switzerland or whatever. Like they were coming around, you know, England. I don't know. And then France got up there. She's like, France! And they parodied it on SNL, but
It
they
was
were
really
not
good.
too far from the real thing.
I
So
see.
Now
They
at
just-
work, anytime French comes up, this EP of mine, she's like, funny. You gotta look it up. The real one. It's funny.
I'll look it up.
France.
Snap!
Oh, we should do that.
I'm continuing to pray that the fire victims get the supplies they need and the right advice regarding rebuilding or relocating depending on their circumstances. When these events happen, so many step up and help with others. When these events happen, so many step up and help while others take the opportunity to exploit. I hope my fiery limerick makes you all feel a little bit better. Here it is. The flames have energy, warmth, and light, endlessly smoky and keenly bright. Humanity's chief tool, a weapon for a fool. Godspeed to the tamers of the plight. Bravo. Well done. Take care.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Heather.
Very nice.
Thank you for continuing to be our poet laureate of record on the Snop. And yeah, thank you. It seems like there's so many donations. The people are like, they're like, hey, stop giving us clothes. Stop giving, like, there's a lot of things, but I think
A lot of them are full.
Yeah, I think money donations are still very much needed. And yeah, it's horrible when people take advantage of people in their lowest times. So fuck those people. But there's a lot of good going on here. So yeah, there's, humanity is winning out, I think, in LA. And we're getting through we're supposed to have another huge windstorm.
San Diego got some stuff. We didn't.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we kind of missed it this time, but we're still in fire season. I think it's always fire season here. Mm-hmm. So anyway,
yeah, we're under fire watch right now because it's windy again.
Windy.
You ready for this?
I can't hear it.
I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, does it not come across?
It's not coming
across.
You'll
have to look it up on your own.
Can't hear it.
Sorry.
I'll find it. You know what? I'll find it and I'll put it at the end here.
Yeah, just do France Miss Universe. It'll come up. All right. Next. Oh, is it me? No.
Yes.
Is it me? Son of a... All right, I got an email from AK. Space Goonies? For the love of something. Oh, AK, you're going to rip on Skeleton
Crew. Of course.
Oh, my God. All right. AK starts off. Fuck, hearing you talk about it makes that whole thing much more real over here. Terrifying shit. Very glad you and yours have made it through unsinged. Good job. Scary that it got as close as it did, though. Speaking of the fires that we were just talking about, of course.
Exactly.
So that was Skeleton Crew. Spoilers, etc. Come on, AK. The character that I liked, the character I said I liked, the big guy, the literally big guy, giant fella, who literally smashed a path for them in the spa. Oh, yeah, it's like a creature.
Oh, yeah.
Collops. Mister, tell me a story and I'll help you out. Remember?
That's
I liked
cool.
his style. Giant alien walrus guy. He was a highlight. And the owl was cool. And the daddy elephant looked quite good. Yeah, I was trying to think of a guy, not a Collops.
I thought they were talking about 33.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They weren't.
Oh.
They're talking about the walrus guy.
No.
Yeah. So I guess we're just meant to overlook the out of the frying pan nature of everything that just happened. New Republic to the rescue. At Atten, sitting on a colossal pile of loot they've worked for untold years to amass. 100% civilian population, uncloaked and utterly defenseless apart from the Republic, who will doubtless relieve them of the burden of all those credits. What an intergalactic shit show. For a franchise, it tends to like to... I'm reading this fast because I disagree. For a franchise, it tends to like to overlap and pick up where it left off, but later, I get the impression Atten will end up like its sister planet. On the whole, the writers do seem to like to make big things dark. Give them time. But there's no plan for a sequel yet, right? The kids are going to get the chance to grow up off screen and maybe get less annoying the way Anakin did. He was less annoying as a Jedi, even if everyone deeply dissed the actor at the time. Come on, it was a good show. Stop trying to make it like, oh, let's look at it like what the government should have done. It was fun. It was about kids having an adventure. We're going to talk about it. AK. Sorry, I disagree. But it's a fun show. Accrington Stanley? Who are they? That's all you need to know about the milk advert. I ran it by some local mates. They all instantly said exactly that. The only outlier was Sir Suze, North, whose brain went to a 90s ad about milkmen being brilliant, but what can you do? Maybe she was too young in the 80s to remember it. I gotta go to bed. I've got
Sounds like an English thing.
Yeah.
It's all very English.
Yeah.
British. Say.
I've got an early start as the local wisteria whisperer. Good times. Hope you're all doing okay, and LA is starting to find its feet again. Continue to stay safe, please, Sir AK. Well, they're trying, but it's going to take years.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope you get a sequel to Skeleton Crew. AK, I know how much you liked it.
Season 2. When the planet is then plundered and the kids grow up in a war-torn area.
Like that other place.
Just because that makes sense. I mean, because now the barrier's down. Unless they can reinstate that, everybody's going to know and want to come there.
Yeah, it's going to get, I think it's going to get a little complicated.
Yeah.
For everybody.
That's the fun of it. They literally landed on a huge pile of money, and then they're just excited to see their friends. They have their priorities in order.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of a pile of beers, our listeners are the best. and they have helped to sponsor this podcast for many months to come. Thank you guys. You've all made this a little easier to do. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Susan Minnie for 15 beers.
Woo.
Susan Minnie,
Party.
you are two beautiful humans. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia, 6 beers. Thank you, Cynthia. Even though we haven't watched that movie that you sent the DVD of, you still listen and you still support us. Thank you so
Someday
much.
we'll review
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Thank you. And then someone, it's a mystery. I think maybe they don't want us to say who it is. I think I figured it out, though. I think I know who it is.
Okay.
Someone gave us 12 beers.
Nice.
Anonymous. Anonymous gave us 12 beers.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, Cynthia said 6 beers for 6 years. Thank you, guys. Let's see. And then Susan Minnie, we're glad you guys aren't on fire. Here's some beers to keep the lights on. Love you guys. And then someone said, hey, it was so good to hear from you in the last episode. Hope you and yours are still okay. Keep on nerding. So thank you guys all so much. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah. And these beers go towards the general maintenance cost of the podcast. If you'd like to donate, you can go to our website, shenerds.com, and it says buy us a coffee. But then you click in, it says buy us a beer. So we thought that sounded more fun, but it really is just it's not actual beers. We don't get the actual beers. We don't get the donation. So
yeah. Exactly. And also, I went to the P.O. box today.
Really?
We had some holiday cards.
Oh, fun.
We have a card that says Merry Christmas, and I'll show you this. I wonder who that's from. Look at that.
Oh, very Australian looking.
Mm-hmm. Look, there's a duckbill platypus. Mm-hmm. I love a platypus.
Koala. Kangaroo.
There's a little hedgehog looking thing.
Oh.
I'm sure it's called something else down there.
Like a or no?
Like a hoobajadoo?
Sure.
Yeah. Merry Christmas with love this season. And always. Love you guys. B-Rex. Thank you, Bex.
Aw, thanks, Bex.
There's a personal message that I'm not going to read on the pod, but I'll send it to you guys later.
Is it like sexual?
It's very sexual. There's some nude pics.
Whoa. All right.
We'll make the rounds with those.
Merry
and then
Christmas.
we got another one, Warmest Wishes with the cute little puppy. Look at that.
Hello, baby.
And that is, it says, Dear Kat, Terry, and Wenda.
What
What
now?
did I say?
What?
Are you okay, Kat? You got the first one right.
What did you even say? What
did you?
I said Terry and Wenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear
well,
Kat, Tara, and Wendy. Hope this Christmas is a cozy one. Warm hugs, Marissa and Abby. Thank you, Marissa and Abby. Look, there's a picture of them.
Oh, hi.
Oh, cute.
And again, it's another. Let's see if this is also a steamy message. Oh no, I'll read this. I missed sending Christmas cards last year due to family. Please do not apologize. I never send Christmas cards to anybody. But coming back strong to encourage you all to fight the good fight these next 4 years of the Trump presidency. Also, please note that the last card I sent had a hand-drawn penguin. Can you guess who is this year's character? There's like a wink. There's like a winky thing going on there. What do you think that is?
I don't know.
All right. Well, maybe they'll let us know. Thank you again, Marissa and Abby. We appreciate it. We love the card. Thank you.
Cheshire Cat? I don't know.
Hopefully they'll tell us.
So it disappears. I never buy cards anymore because you know why? I get all those free ones from charities.
Oh, sure.
So I just send those out.
Nice.
Why waste the paper buying more?
I love
the
that.
sentiment that counts.
It's very true.
Nice
If
card.
you want to send us something to our post office box, you can send that to SNOP. That's SNOP, P.O. Box 6732, Burbank, California 91510.
Stop.
That's it. Stop.
Cool.
Stop.
All right.
Now what?
So up next, we have some movie reviews this week in Snopping for Wendy and Tara. We watched a couple of movies, including Emilia Perez and
Aha.
The Substance.
I watched The Substance.
Yes,
You did
only
not
Wendy
watch
watched The Substance. I did not. So Wendy came over and hung out Friday. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, you want to watch a movie or something? You're like, well, we could watch Emilia Perez because it's getting all this buzz and, you know.
Well, honestly,
really.
Heather's description
yes.
made me want to watch it more than I originally did because I didn't really know what it was about. I'm
Yeah,
like, now I'm kind of intrigued. So.
I had looked up Heather's description too. And it was quite accurate. And I think going into this movie, I had no idea other than what Heather had written what it was really about.
Yeah.
I'd only had heard there was some backlash, which I researched further after we watched the movie.
Interesting.
I was surprised that it was interested by the movie, and I thought it was interesting and better than what I thought it was going to be, or just different than what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I thought Zoe Saldana was really great. Just her overall performance, and Wendy and I were both a little confused as to why she was the supporting actress. Because seemed like she was in more.
5 minutes more, which I've heard it's happened before where a supporting nominee is actually in the film for a lot longer than this. Like it referenced Ordinary People where Timothy Hutton was in supporting while Mary Tyler Moore was in lead, but he was in a lot more of the movie than she was. So it's weird how they finagle it to fit where I guess they think someone will win.
I see.
And that was a Timothy Hutton movie. I mean, he was a new person and she was Mary Tyler Moore.
Sure.
But yet it's weird how they decide just to put someone because this was, Zoe was in it a lot before you even see the other
right
character.
For quite a while, and has more songs and more, just because it was a long time. We kept looking at each other and been like, when's the other person come
Why
in?
is Zoe supporting? Because no one else has shown up yet.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
But it's Hollywood. The bear's in the comedy, and everybody's like, "Why is it a comedy?" I don't know. They just put things where they need to be.
So should I reread Heather's description?
Sure.
Spoilers. Super rich career criminal with a wife and 2 small kids decides to transition to a female. Career criminal hires a spinster lawyer. We were laughing about
Let's
that,
just describe the spinster. Granted, they did make Zoe look a little like bushier eyebrows, kind of like less than her normal, and she got a little more polished as it went on. But by no means would I say some spinster lawyer. But
career criminal hires a spinster lawyer to find a doctor. Spinster lawyer takes payment. Career criminal transitions. They part ways. Spinster lawyer becomes less frumpy. Career criminal fakes own death, devastating young family. Young family moves from Mexico City to Switzerland. 4 years later, the career criminal misses family, convinces the spinster lawyer to say the career criminal is their aunt, and moves the family back to Mexico City. Career criminal tries to make up for a bad life by starting a charity to identify the remains of murdered, kidnapped victims. Young widow takes up with an old flame. Jealousy ensues. Career criminal, widow, and old flame blow up in a car. Spinster lawyer steps up to raise orphan kids.
all true. It all happened.
All true.
So that's accurate?
In an entertaining way.
Yeah.
And to music.
Great.
Yeah.
It was, I think Tara and I, when we decided to watch it, we were like, I was just mad at it because it was beating Wicked for things. So I'm like, let's just watch Emilia Perez. And if we're annoyed, we can at least make fun of it together or watch else if we don't want to finish. And about halfway through, I was like, let's pause. I wanted to get a soda. And I was like, I'm kind of liking this. Tara's like, I'm kind of liking this too. Like we were kind of into it at that point.
We're just quieter than we expected to be.
We did. There's nothing to make fun of. It was
interesting.
Controversies. That's a whole nother subject. But as far as a film, I mean, it's pretty good. It's really good. The acting's good. The music, I would say like I'm not going to download it and sing along. It's not that doesn't have that kind of feel.
Right.
But it fits the movie.
No,
I think.
I couldn't tell you. I mean,
I couldn't either. There's like one song that part of it was kind of in my head, but I don't even know which one it was. It's not catchy. It's just drives
Got
the
it.
movie.
it's just kind of
forward.
there. Yeah.
Kind of there.
Okay.
It's a weird, different kind of musical.
Yeah.
Okay. I
But
mean,
throughout the movie, I did turn and we had the discussion. I can see how this would be highly offensive to to Mexicans watching, the portrayal of Mexico and Mexicans. And it is yeah, so that was definitely on our minds the entire
Sure.
time we watched it. So kind of having to watch it almost like with a whole pushing it away at the same time as you're kind of like trying to see what others are seeing in this. So I will say I liked it much more than I thought. I'm just surprised I sat through it for me. I really thought
It was like what 240, 220. It was a couple hours.
it was like
long.
2 hours and 20, I think.
Yeah,
come
220.
on.
So
It was good. It didn't
I
feel.
thought there were
that
some
long.
interesting parts. I thought, some of the acting was better, and they, as much as people hate on what's her face,
Selena Gomez. I like her.
Selena Gomez, and I have to agree that in Only Murders in the Building, I don't like. It's just she doesn't have much of a range. We'll just say that
Very low energy.
very low energy to just not even feeling in character at some points. So
Oh.
this was a little different. I thought she was much better in this.
Good.
So, but that's comparing those two. Do with it what you will. So,
Okay.
but there is knowing there was backlash. I knew about some of the backlash. Seeing the film and watching and being like, okay, I can see. Yeah, definitely see why. And there's a nice Rolling Stone article that really outlines it. And it is very hard to root for it when, you kind of know about everything. So the film is made by a French director and who reportedly purposefully did not do much research into Mexican culture or the
Okay.
history of Mexico and some of
Sure.
the content that he was writing about, including the drug cartels and what a big, just like just devastating thing this is for the country.
So he just made it up?
He said that he had a vision for what he wanted this to be, and so he, and that he had read about some of the cartels and read about the a cartel member wanting to start a new life, and he wanted to make this to an opera. So he had a vision, and he wasn't really open to like making it a little more sensitive or accurate.
Okay.
So the best comparison I've heard about it is imagine if, again, a French director made a movie about September 11th attacks and didn't had a vision for it, didn't made it into a musical with song and dance, and a musical going so far as, okay, we're going to see the planes fly into the tower and we're going to sing a song about it.
Jesus Christ.
Just and like that's how devastating the drug cartels have been to their country.
Of course.
They did. They sang, sang songs, and as they're loading the guns, they're doing a rhythmic dance. It's kind of
interesting.
Yeah. So
I can see why people are upset. That's a great analogy,
and
I can
that's
see why
just
that would be
kind
upsetting.
of like the cultural parts of it. Then we have the transition, the storyline, so in which everyone's basically saying is very stereotypical and really minimizes, because the story is about this drug cartel leader, like the leader, transitions to a woman, and a lot of the criticism comes from the oversimplification of that.
Sure.
And again, there is a musical number dedicated to the surgeries that this person's going to have.
I think I've actually seen that clip. It's like Zoe's like walking through a
Yes.
hospital or something, talking to a
Yes.
doctor.
Um,
Sorry, singing with a doctor.
right. And so it just says
It's interesting.
portraying Mexico full of stereotypes, ignorance, lack of respect, and is profiting from one of the most serious humanitarian crises in the world. Um, and so as far as I'm scrolling down, there's this, it's a very well laid out article. It also points out that of the main cast, only one person is actually Mexican. And it's essentially um, the main actress is transgender. Let me think. It is get her name. It
Carla
is
Sofia
Yeah,
Gascon.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going through a lot of names here. So there's that. But it kind of goes on to say that everyone else, no one is actually, even she is not Mexican. So,
Oh,
and again, it's just kind of adding on to the pile of the issues, right?
yeah.
Then pointing out that as a Mexican story filmed in France, primarily filmed in France.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A step backward for transgender representation. So again, just a lot of stereotypes, oversimplifications. Step backward for trans representation. And essentially kind of a lack of awareness that your main character, the transgender person, is supposed to be the heroine of the film, but completely overlooking or ignoring the fact that she was directly responsible for such a huge amount of these missing people, and
Right.
almost trying to make us again forget that happened, or be sympathetic in a way, with again just kind of blowing over how big of an issue this is in the country.
Wow.
So I think there's just a lot of layers there of why it's not well beloved by a lot of people.
I see.
So I could see that there were some parts where I was like, oh yeah, this is the representation is not good.
No, it sounds very problematic.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the takeaway from this movie? Like, what is there? Is it like?
What they're going for, I think, is some sense of finding oneself and finding redemption.
All right.
What do you think, Wendy? You think
It
that's
was just a story of this person. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's a message that we're supposed to come away with other than, how maybe it is how people change physically as well as mentally. Even
Yeah.
Zoe's character going from what she thought she wanted to the life she had. But just sort of a character, like a character's maybe.
Yeah. And at the end is after there's a main character death. Well, it says they all blow up in a car. At the end, through the streets, they're walking basically with because she's become this icon in Mexico for funding this charity that finds these missing people.
Sure.
So they're like walking through the street, essentially like for her funeral, or some kind of tribute, with like it looks like the Virgin Mary, like a statue-esque of like a Virgin Mary, like they're singing in the
Oh.
streets. And
Wow.
like looking back, the irony of they're doing that, not realizing, because no one knows that that she and the
who
drug
she
cartel,
was.
like no one recognized her. And the whole time I was kept thinking, how is not okay, maybe no one would recognize her. I'm sure most people would have no idea to even start thinking about maybe
Right.
this person transitioned to a woman, because she faked her death. So maybe, but I just think with like facial recognition software, and just the fact that she was like going basically against the cartels, getting people to kind of turn and tell her where these bodies were buried so that she can go and find them. So she was still interacting with all these cartels.
Right. Who would have known what?
And I just thought, like, how have none of these other cartel leaders put a hit out on her, because she's given all their secrets up.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but it just at the end, they're worshiping essentially this icon that put many of them into this position of needing to find their
right.
killed loved ones. So, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. But it was just different than what I thought it was going to be. So,
Okay. But you liked it. I mean, as a movie.
Yeah, I liked it. From a certain point. Yes.
From a certain point of view.
But knowing, but understanding, and again, having conversations as we're watching it, like, oh no, like, yeah, like I could see,
Huh.
But where do you draw the line? Because what,
it's art, right? Like, how do
Yeah.
you? Yeah, that's a good question. Where do you draw the line?
right. I don't mean to compare it directly, but just thinking of Republicans, where do you draw the line if you're Republican and you want a Republican president? But in order to do that, so you like Republicans, but your choice is Trump, are you going to back, like if you know
Apparently.
something, if you like the film in general, but then you have to vote for it to win the biggest
Right.
award,
Right.
are you able to overlook
Well,
all
I
of those
think,
issues to do that?
Interesting. Yeah.
I
good
just
question.
think Oscar-wise, it'll be a little different. By the way, the nominations are coming out on Thursday, so we'll see how it goes. But
Oh, cool.
Golden Globes are always kind of wonky, so we'll see if
And
it.
they're
how
they're
it
kind
goes.
of coming from I don't know, they're a totally different group of people.
Yeah, different
100%
sensibility.
completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Well,
I mean,
we
I
were
plan
kind of-
on seeing it, so
Yeah.
I'll let you know what I think.
We were also kept turning to each other being like, this is a much different musical than Wicked. Like, how can
Much.
you even put them in the
Much.
same category almost?
Very different vibes.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of different vibes, are you planning
Okay.
to see The Substance?
Eh.
Because I won't spoil it if you are. I'm not
Yeah,
going
you
to
can-
say.
spoil
Okay, well,
it.
let me tell you this. I did not know. I thought it was like a sci-fi kind of look at the premise, Spoilers. Demi Moore's character is getting aged out of, she's an aerobics instructor, getting aged out of that life, or, and she's presented with this opportunity to take a drug that will basically let a young version of herself pop out of her body and go live a life, and they switch
Cool.
off every week. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
cool.
this is a horror movie.
It was-
Body horror.
I didn't realize how body horror movie this was. And so, they get to trade weeks, and you got to do this fluid and keep stabilizing yourself, and then do the fluid cords between, and there's a lot of needles going into body parts and tubes and stitching up things and nakedness and all sorts of stuff. So the new her goes out and gets her old aerobic instructor job, and
So it's two separate entities.
two separate people,
Okay.
but they are one. It's very much
Okay.
pointed out. You are one. So
Okay.
like if young one, who calls herself Sue, if young one takes like, oh, I want an extra few hours or a day, and I'm going to take a little more fluid from old Demi, what's her, Elizabeth or whatever her name is, Elizabeth Sparkle, you get your extra day, but then Demi gets old crotchety old lady witch finger because it's sucking more of her life juice out or something.
Oh,
she's,
okay. So there's
more
a
the young
finite
one does
amount
it,
of this juice.
well, it's like it replenishes if you switch out every 7 days.
I see.
And you
Okay.
you leave the old body or the young body on the floor with these little 7 days of feeding that you hook them up in a tube, and then that's how they get nourished.
Okay.
And then you take fluid out of them and you pop it in your leg every day to make sure you're stabilized. So it's this delicate balance.
Okay.
And so, like, old Demi wakes up and it's like, oh, young Demi, Sue, had a party and had a guy over, all this. Here's my big problem with the movie.
Oh, please.
Here's the fatal flaw for this movie for me. What's the point of doing this? She doesn't know what young her does. They may be the same person. She
They
doesn't
don't
know
share
what she's up. They don't
conscious-
share consciousness.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
she doesn't even get to enjoy the young version of herself. She's an old version lying on the floor waiting for 7 days to wake back up, and then she's still old. It's not
Becoming
like
an old hag.
she's
Gotta-
not sharing a consciousness with the young version of herself.
That's
So
weird.
what's the benefit? You basically just created another young you to go out and have a good time while you're still old, lying on the bathroom floor waiting for her to switch back.
Weird.
I thought it would be like you get the young you, but like you are at least getting to enjoy being young again. And they
Right.
like to focus on old Demi body, which is still pretty good. And then young taut new body. They like to show that a lot. Make sure you see the difference in the hot
Sure.
body parts. A lot of body parts. What I didn't know, and by the way, Demi was great. She acted the crap out of this. She was wonderful. I did not know to what level of a literal horror movie this would become.
Wow.
Like, I mean, the more the young ones out partying, old Demi's turning into a decrepit old hag. And then, I mean, I won't spoil it, but let's just say it gets worse. And then from there, it gets worse. And then from there, it gets even worse. Monsters show up. I mean, it gets wackadoo. At one point, I was just laughing hysterically at I was like, I did not expect this out of this movie.
Hope you're not
very. Oh, I watched a lot of it through my hands or squinted eyes because it was grotesque.
Huh.
It was a lot of body things.
Lots of practical effects. So
and
that's cool.
Fluids
Oh, that is cool. I like that.
and
Skin, different phases of degradation.
You know, it was it was good. Like, I'm sure for body horror movies, it was very good. It's just that was the flaw. That was the quibble I had because I'm like, the whole point of this program is flawed. Like, you're not
want to
getting
enjoy
anything
it.
out of
Yeah.
it.
Doesn't make sense.
You don't get anything out of it. I think they
why
could
would
have
you
told
do
this
that?
story and had it because without that, you have no benefit. What's the benefit
Yeah.
for you? Anyway,
You're just getting worse. Yeah.
it's getting worse if young you decides to go off and do its own thing, but you don't even get to enjoy being young and hot again. Someone else does. You're young you with no shared consciousness, and for a movie that
Weird.
is trying to say the fixation on youth and young and beauty and hotness and all that, like it's too much, that you should appreciate yourself as an older person or whatever. They like a lot of close-ups of the female body and the parts during aerobics or showgirls or whatever. There's a lot of body. I thought, I get it. She's a tight young thing. I get it. But you're kind of doing the thing that you're commenting on. Like, you're showing a lot of close-ups of body parts writhing around. I get it. So it's, it's interesting. I did not know it was such a full-blown body horror kind of movie.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
You did?
I mean, I did. It was. I didn't know what I was getting into, but it was interesting.
Okay.
Do you know, Wendy, there's a female director, Coralie Fargit, like that. Did she get nominated for a DGA or we don't know Oscars yet, but no?
No, I don't know if the directors get it was only like her sixth thing, and I think some of her things were short. So I don't know that she as a director has gotten nominated or the film. I mean, maybe the comedy part of the Golden Globes, I guess it was nominated, maybe, and Demi I can see, but I don't think. No, the DGA is the Emilia Pérez director, Anora's director, Conclave, The Brutalist, and A Complete Unknown. Those are the directors. Those are the films that the directors are nominated for DGAs. SAG Awards, I don't know. I don't know about SAG. I mean, it'd be weird if I can see. I don't know that Demi would win an Oscar for this. I thought at one point I saw something that basically said, yeah, she might be a favorite. I'm like, that's a lot.
So you think she'll get nominated?
I mean, she's nominated for SAG Awards. I mean, I think if it was not Demi Moore, the actress in this movie would not be nominated. But because it's Demi Moore, I think she's going to at least be possibly nominated. I mean, the SAG Awards, Pamela Anderson. Can you imagine Pamela Anderson? She got nominated for an Oscar.
That'd be so
Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia Gascon, Mickey Madison, and Demi Moore. So, I mean, she could at least get nominated. Whether or not she'll win, I don't know. But she's great. It's just the movie itself is. But then, kind of Everything Everywhere at Once was pretty wackadoo. It was, I think, a better film overall than this. But
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It's kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis, though, went in for crazy part in that movie. But Demi, she acts crap out of it. She was great.
Of course.
I mean, she was really good. I can see why she's getting attention for it. And it's Demi Moore, and I think that's part of it. I think an unknown would not get nominated for this.
Sure.
But Demi, yeah, maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's up next? We want to talk about AK's favorite show, Skeleton Crew.
That's right.
Star
Skeleton
Wars
Crew.
Goonies.
Star Wars Goonies. I loved it.
Same, me too. I don't want
Sorry.
AK's problem. It was
I
fun.
enjoyed it.
I loved
was
the
fun.
ending. It was beautifully shot. It was.
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't remember a down moment, start to finish. I loved it. The kids are great.
The only commentary I had on the last episode is I thought there should be a little bit more, like an
Yes.
extra couple scenes after the scene that it ended on,
I
where
agree.
the dad says something like, "Oh, you survived all this. You don't want to get crushed at the end," which I think was a throwback to something else I heard, to some other line and some other Star Wars thing. And then it's just him looking off into the distance at the stars, and then it ends. I kind of wanted
Right.
like
And
a little
the
bit
fighter
like
planes. And,
what? Yeah. Well, yeah, he's watching the stars in the fighter.
Right.
The X-wings come in. So,
And Jude Law's character, like, as he's watching, hey, spoilers, everybody. As he's watching his pirate ship, crash into the planet, he has a wry smile, as if to say, I can work with this.
I bet
So,
he can.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess it would have been cool to see an epilogue and see what the kids are doing, but maybe we'll get a
Right.
season 2 and that will be all answered. But maybe not. I could see this as a standalone. Like, I don't know that you need a sequel, a second season.
and where in the timeline is this supposed to fall in? Like before the where is with Mandalorian or the original trilogy,
Um,
or
think
is it after
it's-
is it after?
I think it's after
The new-
Jedi, right? Because it's the New Republic.
it comes between Ahsoka and Star Wars. Basically, it looks like between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Okay.
So you got after Return of the Jedi, you get The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, Star Wars Resistance, what was that? I forgot what that was.
That's a great question.
Is
Is that a video
animated?
game?
Maybe
I think it was animated. Yeah.
And then comes Force Awakens. And this other one says Resistance, Skeleton Crew, Resistance, then Force Awakens. So it's between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
So, but I agree with AK, like that. And again, maybe like you said, Kat, an epilogue scene. Are they just even one of, okay, are they restoring the planet's barrier to hide it again? They're securing the money, or do a bunch of other pirates and people show up because now they want to turn it into a vacation planet or
Right.
ravage the planet, and it ends up becoming like the other what was the
Yeah.
other Atten-esque
At
one?
something.
Whatever. At Batten, we'll call it.
Bat.
And that was a complete wasteland, and
Yeah, it was like that was that cool young girl who was sort of the heir to this gang, not gang, but like
Yeah.
clan. She was really cool. Her and
Yeah.
her and Neil had a moment that was really sweet.
yeah, even just a
Anyway.
scene of them rebuilding a little bit. Or
Yeah, what happened?
they're gearing out. They don't have the supervisor anymore, and they got a ton of cash down there. What's happening with that? I would like to know,
Yeah,
like,
that's interesting.
what are they doing with all that? That's, I guess, maybe if there's a season 2, but yeah, there's just like, it could have used a little something. But,
You
Well, I just found an article from Screen Rant. I haven't read it yet, but it says showrunner explains the show's ending, drops major season 2 hints.
Okay. Look, Skeleton
maybe-
Crew did something that I thought was impossible, and that it kind of united Star Wars fandom for a show that we thought literally they were going to be feared for the kids' lives or online lives of being harassed and bullied by people who hated the show. Everybody kind of loved it. It's something that I never saw the negative commentary about. So it's like you kind of don't want to mess with a good thing, but give us more. I'll
I
take
think
it.
they managed expectations well with this one. They came out from the start and said it's not attached to anything. Don't expect Darth Vader to show up. Don't expect Obi-Wan to show up from somewhere
I
or
think-
whatever.
People liked that.
Yeah,
People
and
liked
they
it
just
that it
said
was just its own thing.
this is a standalone story.
Yeah.
It's just an adventure, space adventure. Enjoy it for what it is, and that's it. We're not setting anything up. We're not, this isn't linked to anything specific, and nor will it be. So don't expect that. Yeah, I think
Well
that helped.
done.
I think that helped it.
100%. Yeah, I think people would have been annoyed if the supervisor had turned out to be some Star Wars character that we knew, or some
Right.
familiar X-wing pilot showed up, and I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, and I will say the security was a little lacking. With that amount of cash, they were able to just turn off all the droids. Just what did you stab the supervisor in the eye with a lightsaber?
He did, yes.
And the whole planet shut down. Just shut right down. The vaults were just open for anybody that wanted to go in there. All the droids were turned off. So I hope that as AT-AT rebuilds, they address some of these security concerns.
Well, maybe they can
mean-
hire Jod as a security consultant. He can help
Mm,
expose their weaknesses.
I
and
mean, I think the
go-
weaknesses have been exposed.
Yeah.
Maybe as a pirate, he can help make an honest day's work helping them.
Pirate's
And I
got
was
a
kinda
pirate.
also-
Pirate's got a pirate.
There's a huge, almost comical switch in the supervisor's office that you just flip this enormous switch and it brings the barrier down.
They should have hid that better.
And I thought, yeah, it should be under lock and key with at least break glass in a case of emergency or something, right? It was just in the middle of the room.
Someone could
anyone
bump into
walking
it.
by.
No, but he did have to. He found there was a control panel that he looked at, and it said barrier override. So he did press the button.
Oh, okay.
Then the switch came up.
I
So
see.
it's not there all the time.
Okay.
Just when you press the button that says exactly what it is.
Barrier over, so just clearly labeled. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the switch, and I just think can you not just flip the switch back? Why a switch? Why not just another button? This enormous, it's just
Or like a
asking to be
dial.
flipped back. It just seems like you could just turn the barrier back on.
Right.
Maybe
Fair.
it will.
These are good questions.
I don't know. They made a whole big stink about if you turn off the barrier,
It's
you
destroyed.
never get it back. It's destroyed.
Yeah.
Their whole network.
Right.
Well, the
Well,
townspeople
they have-
looked happy to see stars.
Well, they have a lot of money. So if they wanted to, they could probably build a new barrier.
Yeah. New and improved, hopefully with better thought
With
gone into
with at least another button that you have to push.
Maybe a code?
push
Like a code?
before. Oh, that's
Maybe?
good.
I don't know, maybe a
But-
series of codes where three people have to
Two
enter.
keys on the other sides of the room.
And you have to do it at the same time. I love
Right.
that. That's my favorite. I love that. But no, it's so many questions, right? Because there's this huge injection of cash into the New Republic. Why can't they, be better prepared for the New Order or whatever the hell the bad guys are in Force Awakens? There's this injection of impression is billions of credits, right?
Yeah.
They should
What are
have
they gonna do
shared
with it?
well.
Trillions outside that world. It seemed like
Yeah.
one credit that he was supposed to buy his lunch with, basically got him half of all the spaceship parts they needed. So it's the worth of it outside their planet is even greater. And they got to get those parts from somewhere. They could just,
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of questions.
But good show.
they should be able to afford an entire army to protect them as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe some X-wings of their own.
Right. That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Some patrols.
Some
Yeah.
AT-ATs on Aden.
Mm.
Some AT-AT and AT-ATs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, when he's found something.
No, I like that.
Oh.
I was thinking
You're like-
maybe that's where the AT-AT was born. Well, probably.
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 AT-AT.
It's not why it's named it, but
No. It is a weird name, right? Aden. It was a hard,
Yeah.
you could tell Jude Law was having a hard time saying it.
Yeah.
Aten.
And it's just why? Why that when you've got AT-AT and it's such a
Yeah.
well-known thing? Doesn't
kinda
really.
weird. It's kind of weird.
look, it's hard to come up with planet names.
Not really.
They could have called it Atlantis. That would have been kind of cool.
They could have.
Yeah.
It could have been. And I will say, I was making fun of Neil at the beginning before I saw the show, the little elephant boy. Loved him.
He likes his bubble bath.
He's so cute.
He's
His
a
little
gentle
hair,
boy.
his
He's a
combed.
gentle soul.
He's not. He's a pacifist. He's like, why do we gotta fight? Why don't we just apologize, and then when nobody has to get hurt?
There's some lesbians in it.
Yeah.
There are
The
some
parents.
lesbians.
Yeah.
Some
I
gay
like
moms.
them. I like.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, the parents were all cool. I like that the Wim's dad at the end got to have his own little adventure. That was cute.
I like the speeder bikes. The speeder bike chase. That was fun.
Yeah,
Like
that was
good
great.
old kids on bikes in a Spielberg movie.
Yeah, that was fun. No, I thought it was good. I thought it was very enjoyable, and I won't be upset if there's a season 2.
I wonder if Steve Urkel survived the crash. He was one of the
Oh,
pirates.
Steve Urkel.
Did I do that?
Why did they not say
Brought
that?
the whole ship down.
Crash the
Did I do
ship.
that?
Oh, they great.
Someone has to have made that.
Someone
right?
had to do
On
that
set. Yeah.
as like as the big ship is coming down.
Right.
Like someone just did I do that? Someone has to make that video, please.
I'm gonna see if it's there.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, he was the last guy sitting on that captain's seat. Everybody else fucking took off. He's like, get back. What are you doing? Oh, well. And like, I'm sure people got hurt when that thing landed. That was a big ship.
Pretty sure.
You know?
Oh, right.
Civilians.
As it hit. That's kind of what I was thinking too, as a lot of the stuff was happening, taking out just the village in general with
Can't be
everybody
good.
around. So
Can't be good.
Yeah, that was. I feel like some poor civilians on Manhattan did not make it.
no, 'cause it took out a lot of their infrastructure when it landed. It wiped out like that whole rail system and
Yeah.
everything.
They had a lot of work to do.
I'm not finding any reference from Skeleton Crew to that, so one of y'all should post that. So
Missed opportunity.
yeah,
Completely.
like the ship crashing. Did I do
Maybe that can be our
Did I-
picture for this.
That'd be great.
There you go.
Did
There
I
you
do that?
Maybe it'll catch on.
Yeah, and I guess I just don't understand AK's complete disdain for the show.
Look, I don't like shows with kids either most of the time, but
Yeah, but these kids aren't annoying. I don't like kids. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. And
Overrated.
These kids were great. I thought they were really fun.
yeah.
Anyway,
I agree with both
I
things
can,
you just said. Okay.
Today, guess what happened, Tara? I don't know if you know this. Guess what was renewed? Sort of
What?
late breaking entertainment news. High Potential season 2.
Really? Okay.
Oh,
As
cool.
It should. It's a breakout hit new show.
Yeah.
it's fun.
Great.
Good.
I watched it. Watch High Potential.
It's a lot of fun.
Wonderful.
It's on Disney Plus. I don't know if it internationally,
ABC.
but
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, and ABC. But
All right. Well, we got to wrap this up because Oak Island's on and I'm missing it.
Oh shit, you gotta go.
I gotta go.
They're gonna find some wood.
Y'all are so cynical.
No, I'm on your side.
I know. We're on Twitter. You know, such a kind, gentle place. We're at That's Not Podcast with 1D. We're on the Blue Sky, which is getting a little Twitterish, but it's still Blue Sky. She Nerds Out. At She Nerds Out.
and Facebook and Instagram at She Nerds Out Podcast.
You can send us an email at shenerdsOut@gmail.com. Go to our website, shenerdsOut.com, for all your snopping needs. We have merch up there. You can buy us a beer or two. Yeah, it's like, it's one-stop snopping.
One stop snapping. All right. Well, I gotta go deal with an invoice from Kraken that I just received. Nothing fishy about that.
Nice. Nice job.
Kraken.
Good pun. Good pun.
Okay. Well, until hey, we're 1 day down in this 4-year nightmare we're about to enter. One less day. Hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Only about 1,200 days to go.
Until then, she nerds.
Ouch!
She nerds out. We're girls that like nerdy things.